What's going on, everyone? Today we have a kind of off the wall video. I always do these elaborate bow builds with these super expensive setups that could run you like well close to like $2,000 all said and done. And we're just reading through comments and seeing like everyone being like, that's great, but you know, it's not always the case for entry levels or whoever to go out and just spend all this amount of money on brand new bows and everything. So what we're doing today is we're doing a budget bow build. And I'm actually kind of pumped about this. I'm pumped to get this all together and shooting. We literally just, on a whim, we thought of this idea today. We drove up to Farm and Fleet, went through their selection, and bought all these accessories. The bow that we're gonna be doing it on today is a Mission Hammer. But there's lots of different bows right in this caliber. But this is a great bow, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. But what I wanna do is run through how much all of this cost. So we picked up Beeman 4-pack, grab, go, and shoot. Already pre-cut, fully assembled, like you don't have to do anything. Those costed $26.99 for 4, which is pretty much the cheapest we could get without buying a bare shaft, having to cut everything and go that route. We picked up this Trophy Ridge sight for $19.99. And this actually doesn't look terrible. Like, it's definitely made out of plastic, but I think it'll definitely be all right. We bought this, one of the cheapest release I think I've ever seen, freaking $19.99 for this release. It's definitely nothing special, but it'll get the job done. Next, we picked up stabilizer. This you really don't need, but it'll definitely help with a little bit of vibration. That was also $19.99. We're having a theme of $19.99, which is really good. It's the lowest price. I literally picked the lowest price out of anything. The awesome Whisker Biscuit True Glow edition. Definitely a little cheaper than the original Whisker Biscuit, but it should still do good. And then a super cheap peep sight. And what I'm also going to try to do is I'm going to try to build this bow with things that you would have around the house. Let's say you've never shot archery before. You should still have all these items around the house and should be able to do it yourself. So there we have it. Oh, and then this bow costs $2.99, and this is a great bow for the growing archer or the beginner archer, because draw lengths can go to 17 inches to 29 inches, which is insane. Like an 8-year-old kid and then a grown adult could shoot the same bow. And 16 to 70 pounds, dude, it was 70 pounds. So this is insane, and 300 feet per second at when it's all maxed out, which is really good. So this is a bow you could grow with or pick up as, like, I'm sure I'm gonna be able to shoot pretty well with it. Also, let's see here. If I wanted to make it like total, this is 100% how you set it up. So I went on Lancaster. You can buy BCY D-loop material 1 foot for $1. So that'll get you your D-loop. And then you can buy BCY 3D serving or material to like tie in your peep and everything for $18.50, and you can actually use dental floss instead of that. So yeah, that's literally everything you need for a bow. So we're gonna dive in, we're gonna build this bow start to finish and see how well we can shoot it. And our grand total of all of this, so with accessories, it's $139. The bow is $299. So we're looking at $438.28, minus probably some shipping cost on the bow if you order that from wherever or a pro shop. But anyways, that's cheap for under $500, a full setup. So anyways, we're gonna get this all set up, see how it shoots. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna pull everything onto the bow. All you need for this is a simple set of Allen wrenches. You can pick up for pretty cheap if you don't have any. And a lot of times, they'll send the Allen wrench you need to work with the product, but I don't think that's the case for most of these. So we have our rest. Simple bolt, washer, True Glow, easy rest. Should be easy, or that's false advertisement if it's not. Okay, so we're gonna take this and, okay, so right off the bat, for packaging reasons, they don't have this set up right. So we're gonna find the correct Allen wrench. So we're gonna loosen this. That's gonna swing out of the way now. And now, yeah, we'll be good now. So we're gonna take our mounting bolt, put our washer on it too. Thread it right in. This is pretty universal across all bows. A little bit of paint gets in there sometimes when they paint the bows, so you gotta make sure you don't cross thread it, but just get it worked in there. All you wanna do, make this about level, close to level as you can, and then you adjust it. There's really not much adjusting here. Oh, so we're gonna have to pivot this as our up and down. That's what you do there. So that's gonna be fun. So we'll just get this kind of snug for now. Don't go crazy on tightening because we're gonna have to do that later. All right, next we're gonna do our trophy ridge. It's the Mist. Oh, that's really easy to get out too. Look at that, consumer friendly. That was actually really nice. A lot of these sights and stuff are very hard to get out. Yeah, okay, so that's made out of 100% plastic. Even, dude, even this, you gotta be careful probably when tightening these down. You could probably crack these very easily if you tighten them like I normally tighten my sights. But besides that, I mean, that looks like the pins are made out of some sort of metal material. Very plastic, very budget, but hey, it's gonna work. You just can't be as rough on them like other stuff. So all you do, you got these two little screw holes right here, and they give you two options. Probably isn't gonna matter at all with the setup that we have. Sometimes you gotta pick one or the other depending on the fit on the bow. Sometimes they got weird stuff going on. I don't know if that's the right size. It's not. There we go, it's that one. I do not have those in the right order at all. Okay, this is super easy process. Bolting everything on, super easy. You just plug and play. Important thing is you don't strip anything out, because if you strip one of these in the bow, there ain't no going back. So don't go crazy on it. And this is plastic, so I'm just gonna snug those a little bit. And you have quiver mounts right there, those holes. So if you want to throw a quiver on there, you can find a quiver. And basically the only thing that we don't have, if you want to take this hunting, is a quiver and some broadheads. So, but for another 20, 30 bucks, you could be set up for that. Dude, we're almost there. Look at that. Sick. Dude, I haven't shot a bow like this in a long time. Like a simple fixed pins and whatnot. So this is about as easy as it gets. Whew. Dude, this is not a pretty looking thing. There's a lot of, this is definitely straight out of China. But these actually, I mean, for the purpose of it, just to kind of dampen some sound and dampen some shot, the amount of rubber and everything on there, it'll do just fine. This isn't really gonna like stabilize your shots too. I mean, there's really, you got that much of length because this is just a little end cap. So that's really not gonna do a whole lot, but dude, this probably costs 30 cents to make. We're getting there. Okay, we got a peep. This Tru-Fire Patriot. I kind of, this was the cheapest one, but it also had the shortest, one of the shorter barrel lengths. I don't know why manufacturers feel like these barrels need to be super long. If anything, they should be shorter. So we got good old Velcro. I'm just gonna see how the fit is. Pretty basic. Should be fine. You want the release to, you want to be able to reach around it pretty good. You don't want to be like reaching for it way out here. So that should be fine. This might even be a youth one. No. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to do this like as if you were like at home and have nothing other than a set of Allen wrenches. So we're gonna try to put a peep sight in without a bow press. Now, this isn't the best way to do it, and if you care about the finish on your bow, I recommend not doing this and probably going to a pro shop. But if you're up for the challenge and feel like voiding your warranty on a bow, this will work. I need to find something first though. Okay, so we're gonna use this to bow press my bow. Now, again, don't try this at home, but if you want to try it at home, it's probably gonna void all your warranty if you get scuff marks and everything on it. Maybe not, I don't know. Just be careful too. But if you're a DIY diehard, this is how you do it. And this is how you do it totally by yourself. You find some sort of edge. So we're gonna use this edge right here. You're gonna tape that. And then what you're gonna do is so as you pull the bow back, also what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn the poundage way down. So this bow can go all the way down to, what was it, 20 pounds? 15 pounds?
Something like that.
So we're gonna turn the bow way down so that there's a lesser chance of catastrophe. There's really not gonna be any catastrophe. Probably should do them semi-evenly so they're not crazy. Okay, so essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw the bow back a little bit, jam something in the cam to make the cam stop rotating, and it's gonna make the string go slack. So we're gonna pick our point, weave it in there, slowly let down. Let's get that more straight. Okay, I'm gonna let the poundage down a little bit more. I think it'll be all right, but that was a lot of bend in the bow. It is really important, I guess, that we turn the poundage way down. I used to do this with my NASP bow. So working on a NASP bow, you technically don't need any bow press. You could back the limb bolts out all the way and it just goes limp. They made that because they know, like, gym teachers and stuff, they're not gonna be able to have bow presses and whatnot. Oh yeah, dude, that's money. Okay, so this is like nothing right now. Oh yeah, there we go. So look at that. The string is just slack. I'm like, we thought we almost shouldn't do this, but as long as you're safe about it, it's fine. So we're gonna lay it on the table. We got this completely slack. We're gonna take our peep sight. This is also a great way if you're like in a bind on a mountain hunt or something and you're like, you got no options. This is also stick an Allen wrench or something in. I've seen people do this on the line at tournaments and stuff. So I did not come up with this. So what you do, a lot of these stock bows, they come in 2 colors so you can know where the center of the string is, because strings are made out of multiple strings. It's not just like one solid chunk. So you try to find the center. They should have a little divider piece in here. I know Matthews, they have a divider piece. I don't know why Mission didn't. So there's the center of the string. We are going to put our peep sight in, and you just want to make sure you have it lined up just right. The only problem with this is we don't got any tension on the string. It's kind of nice to have a little tension on the string to do this. What I might do is I might take a little piece of serving material and just do one simple tie to keep it right there. Just keep it snug. All right, so this is the other important part. You have to make sure that the strings are 100% on the bow. Once they're 100% on the bow, which they're not, then you kind of turn it on the side, falls out. Boom, we installed the peep without a bow press. So, Oh, except I did it wrong. I put it in the wrong one. I wonder if I can just, oh dude. So the bow is so weak. When you spin it down like this, I just have my finger stuck in it now. This peep sight has like, it had a straight line and then a curved line. Let's see if I can do this. My mind's having a brain fart right now. There we go. Oh dude, now we got all the room in the world. Dude, why am I having a brain fart? There we go. Did it. So realistically, I bet if you have a bow like this that goes like 15 to 20 pounds, you could probably take something and just separate the string like a little toothpick, not a knife. Oh, or you could, oh dude. The bow is so low that you could just go like this and then separate it. So there's lots of ways you could do it, I suppose. There we go, we have the peep sight in. So now what we're gonna do, so we're gonna tighten the limb bolts back down. And I wanna be shooting it probably, you know, more upwards to the 60 plus pounds, just to show like it's more maxed out. It'll perform a little bit better with it being more maxed out. Okay. Okay, so now the peep sight's not 100% straight, but that'll be easier to fix once you have your D-loop installed and everything. So next what we're gonna have to do is get the D-loop installed and the rest configuration correct. So I'm not even gonna use the vise because I know a lot of you guys don't have vices and stuff. What I am gonna use, I'm gonna take this and a piece of D-loop material. So this is all you need. This, the lighter. And what are we gonna do? You know what? All you need is a level. So if you have like a house level or anything like that, that'll work. Actually, you need 2 levels. So imagine if you had 2 house levels. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of our arrows, a butte of an arrow. And these are, what's a poundage? Does it say on there?
340 spine.
Oh, 340 spine. Oh, we're way good. That's stiff. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it in our whisker biscuit, clip it on the string. And then remember I said I just kind of tighten the rest a little bit, but so that we still have flexibility. What would be the, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a little piece of tape, and you can actually probably tape whatever type of level. We're gonna tape this on here, so that it's flat and snug. So we can still see the bubble a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna tape our other one. If you have little levels laying around, it's actually a terrible idea. But I'm assuming someone's got some sort of level, bubble level or something. And you could really eyeball this and trial and error it. But now what we're gonna do, so we're, oh no wait, I did that backwards. How do we, oh, we want this level, that's not gonna work. I was thinking backwards. How can we do that though? Oh, I know how we can do it. You can make this bubble level. No, you can't do that either. How do you do this without, we're gonna have to eyeball it. Because you need some way to make the bow square, and then like that. So a solution, you could buy a simple square. Oh,
What if
you know what you could do? Take an index card, put it against the string to create a 90-degree angle. Oh yeah, that works all right. So step 1, what you're gonna wanna do is don't worry about the knot too much, but you're gonna lower this rest or make it higher until that arrow is covering this burger hole is what it's called. It's the threads that your rest goes in. So I just moved this down until it covers the burger hole right there. And then what we're gonna do for this particular rest, then we're gonna spin it We're gonna spin this part to make the whisker biscuit level. That's pretty close. So now we're gonna take our index card, make sure our arrow is in the rest properly, and then we're gonna 90 degree it on the string. You can see that's not perfect, so we're gonna bump the knock down a little bit. This could work with a ruler or anything. That's pretty dang close. So you wanna make sure that the index card against the string is completely flush. And we're gonna rise it up to the arrow. See right there. Knock might be a little low. That actually doesn't work that bad, because all you're doing is creating, you want a 90 degree, or 45, 90 degree right here. 45, what am I talking about? 90 degree right here. So when that's a 90 degree, you want the arrow going right through the center of the burger hole. Forget about that level, that doesn't make any sense anymore. I was trying to make something happen, but in the end it did not make any sense. So now that our arrow is in the correct spot, 100%, we're gonna take a little bit of our serving material, probably like 2 foot, so that it's easy to maneuver with. Or dental floss. So you could really do this with dental floss. This will be a little bit more long lasting. What you're gonna do is tie a knot, a simple overhand knot, push it all the way up against your knock right there. And then what you're gonna do is the same exact simple knot, but you're gonna tie it from underneath this time, if I can. And you're gonna slide it to make it sit right against your other knot. So you're like stacking knocks, not tie a knot on the knocks, jeez. So you're gonna do the same thing on top again. And stack them right next to each other. Do it again on the bottom. We'll do one more on the top. And we're doing these the same way. So if you did one end under, you make sure you do it exactly the same. So now you're gonna do a square knot, you're gonna finish it off. So I've been going this way. Now I'm gonna go just the opposite way. And it cinches down against each other. And then you're gonna take a knife and just cut that off, but leave about 1/8 to 1/4 inch left over. Then you're gonna take your flame and light it and bring it down to it. You don't really wanna light them on fire, you just wanna burn them. Wait a second. Tap them to kind of flatten them out. So now you have an indicator. And what this is gonna do is allow you to tie on your D-loop. So we can now unclip this just for a second. Almost forgot, we wanna make sure we tighten our rest down nice and snug. Nice and snug, so now when we're tying everything in, nothing's gonna move. Okay, back to D-loop. What you do is you create a U, just like this. And we're gonna want the knot on the bottom facing me right now, facing this side of the bow. So what you do is you lay it down like that. You bring the 2 ends back up and through. And then we want the knot on the bottom and facing us. So we're gonna pull this end, and you kind of work it till you get about right there. Oh, and you can see there's a little blemish on that. We're gonna actually cut that off. You wanna make sure you don't have any little nicks or cuts in your D-loop. Then what you're gonna do is take your finger, you're gonna tap that and fray it out. What that does is it makes it easier to burn to create the end knot, I guess. So we're gonna burn that. You don't really wanna light this on fire. You just wanna burn it to make it melt. So you see I'm going in and out of the flame, making sure it doesn't catch all the way on fire. It can just get, you can burn too much, you can burn something else, you could burn this other D-loop if you catch it on fire. And supposedly the D-loop material gets weaker when you catch it on fire, so you just really want to melt it like that. So now we just made a perfect little mushroom burn knot. You're You're gonna let it cool down just for a second. Don't touch it, don't do anything. I don't even really like mashing it. Some people will then mash it down. I kind of like keeping it like that. I feel like it keeps its rigidity and it's a little bit stronger. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull on this end, scooch it up to the little indicator you just made, and you're just gonna pull it tight. Not crazy tight, just a little tight. So now you got your bottom one done, and again, you want the knot facing this side of the bow, like the open side, and on the bottom. So next we're gonna do the complete opposite on the top side. We're gonna want the knot facing away and on top. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go under, almost don't got enough on here, back around, through again. Dude, I might not have enough. Oh man, I might have to redo that. I don't have enough D-loop because I had to cut that little piece off. Pause. Don't make this mistake. Leave yourself a little bit of extra room. We're just gonna undo that, redo this real quick. Okay, so now we're back to square one. We got a lot of extra and we can trim it off here in a second. There we have our D-loop. So down, around town. Oh, I did that backwards. Go over, through, there and there. Do the same thing, just opposite. So what I'm gonna do is get it, you wanna make it a little shorter than what your end result's gonna be because you're gonna stretch it out. So we're gonna get it about right there. We're gonna cut, leave ourselves a little bit of room. I'm gonna pull this out a little bit further, fray it. You're gonna do the same exact thing. Okay, pull on it a little bit. And before you snug it down, we're gonna knock our arrow again. And you wanna make sure you have the correct knot fit. So what I mean by that is you want the D-loops to just be kind of snug on it. We're gonna pull on it a little bit. Unclip it again. You do need a pair of pliers. I'm actually gonna I'll use a standard pair of pliers. You can get some Archer pliers if you have them or whatever, but we're just gonna use a standard pair of needle nose. We're gonna separate this a little bit more, but don't tighten it down 100% yet. We wanna make sure our knock fit is good. So you don't wanna mash it in there like crazy like that. You actually do want a little bit of a gap. Oh, that's too much. You just want a little bit of a gap. Something about like that, because when you pull back, the string goes at an angle. It goes from wide down tight, so it's actually gonna be pinching the arrow a little bit. So if you had it super tight to begin with and you pull back, it pinches a lot, and it can actually make the arrow pick up or push down or left or right on the rest a little bit. You don't want that. So we're gonna get it maybe just a little bit of a gap. Take our pliers, you stick them in, and you just pull them out. Double check everything, and you can also push down on the bottom side, push those together a little bit more. Looks good, knots are in place. Stretch it out, check it out again. You can actually take your pliers, tighten up the bottoms a little bit. Double check our knock fit, looks good. Switch it around, give it one really good cinch. And that's not going nowhere. So next, what we want to do is we're going to tie in our peep. This is also pretty dang simple. It's not too much rocket science behind it. Okay, so tying in the peep sight's super simple. We're going to take our same serving material, cut about 2-foot piece, 1.5 feet. All you're going to do, you're going to wrap it around, and there's little grooves in there. You're going to make sure it's in the groove. We're going to do a simple overhand knot, tighten it down on top. I'm gonna do a simple overhand knot on the bottom. Make sure the knots are lined up. It's kind of difficult for me when it's laying down on the table. Not used to that. Do another one on top. And then we're gonna do a square knot. Same thing we did for our indicator. So I just went this way. We're gonna go complete opposite way. And give that a real good snug finish. Cut it off with a little bit left over. Take our lighter. Burn it down, tap it off. And really, you could leave it just like that. And all that tie-in does is it keeps it snug, but it also keeps it from flying out of the bow. But what we're gonna do on this is do tops and bottoms to keep it from sliding up and down even more. So I'm gonna grab some more of this. Oh, right there. Give ourselves another 2-foot piece. And you do lose a little bit when you cut these longer pieces, like access, but it makes it easier to grab onto and stuff. So all you do here, so you do the same thing. This is all the same knots. This is the simplest way to do it. You can do it more ways, but this works, and it's just the simplest way to do it. So I'm actually gonna come up here to where the string is a little bit separated, but when you tighten it down, it comes together. So you see how it tightens down, it separates. So you wanna go about right there. You just do half hitches all the way around. One on top, one on the bottom. You stack them right next to each other. And actually you can slide that up a little bit more. We're just trying to tighten the peep sight in place. So it wouldn't make sense for it to go too far away. So you really want to cinch it down a little bit. Bring that up a little bit. And as you keep doing more knots, it builds its strength and won't be as separated. And you do these for like 8 or 10 on top, 8 or 10 on the bottom. You don't want to do probably less than 6, but you can do as many as you want, really. You can do the whole bow. Not really, you shouldn't do the whole bow, but about a good 1/2 inch worth. So that's probably good right there. So we're gonna just did one on the bottom. We're just gonna do the opposite, square knot. Cinch that down, and it's same exact thing. Pull this up, cut a little bit off. Burn it down. You want to be careful not to burn your strings. I've accidentally have clipped the string a little bit and it made a string pop. That's not burning very easy. So there we go, there's one. We do the same thing on the top side. Super easy. It's all real easy. Don't need to be an expert really to do this stuff. You just get better with it with time. The more you do, the more, just like anything, the more you get used to it, the more you learn little tricks. And there are many ways to tie in peep sights. This, I feel, is just the easiest. And it's just one knot all the way across the board. Super easy to remember. Just slide that up. Tied my last one on the bottom. All right, we're close, people. We're close to flinging some arrows at this bad boy. So we're all tightened down, rest is tight, everything's good. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna show you how to get your rest lined up left and right. And this really is just an eyeball. Like you can do some measurements and stuff, but we're just gonna eyeball it for lack of equipment, I guess. We're just trying to do this real easy. Here, I'll come over here, Mitch. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to line up the center of the riser, center of the grip, center of the bow, center everything with the string, with the center front string right here. And then you're gonna see if the arrow is pointing left or if it's pointing right, or if it's in the middle. And right now, the arrow's tip is pointing a little bit to the left. So what we're gonna do is move the rest to the right and get it so that the arrow is pretty much lined up with the string. And this will get us close. This will get us to a close starting point. So we're gonna move the rest just slightly to the right. Good old whisker biscuit. There's really no fine-tuned micro adjust in this. So we're gonna double check. That's pretty close. And what you can do now, can you see that okay?
Yeah.
So you can see that the sight is also way pointed this way. So right now, while you're doing this, you can get your sight lined up with your arrow and with everything. That arrow's pretty close. But what we're gonna do is now get our sight close. Oh, yeah. Whew, mint. So we're just gonna bump this until the arrow is pretty much in the center, lined up with the string, lined up with the bow. That's close. And this just eyeballing it gets it close. Essentially, there's really no weirdness in getting a bow set up. You just line everything up and then you're done. Just kidding, but pretty much. All right, what else is there? That's pretty much it. That was pretty simple. So let's check the poundage real quick. .63, stout. And so with this bow, you can see all the mods right here. So I guess I can show you how to do this real quick too. All you do, so this is the mod. This is what changes the draw length. When you change your draw length, you take this screw out, you shift this whole plate. So I'm assuming A is the longest and M is the shortest. So you just move this mod, put that screw back in, but you have to match this mod with the bottom one also. It's the same exact thing on the bottom. You have to have these in the same spot or it's not gonna shoot correctly. It's gonna feel weird. So that's how you change drawing, super easy. All right, let's shoot this bad boy. So we got our arrows pre-fletched, ready to go. And what you wanna do is you wanna knock this odd, see how it's white? These two are red, this is called the odd fletching. You want to point that up with a whisker biscuit. Let's throw our release on. Dude, I haven't shot a release like this in a long time. Long time. It's money. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get our peep alignment set up. So essentially, move the peep up and down to get it lined up with your eyeball around the housing. So we're gonna pull it back. Yeah, so the peep is just ridiculously low. I'm looking right over like the top knot right now. So we're definitely gonna have to move that. Really, you can just move it with your fingers. You slide it up. Oh, maybe we'll need to do a rope. So after, you can do this step really before you do these ties up and top, or top and bottom, but it is pretty important that you have this tie around here if you plan on shooting it and getting your peep set up. What we're gonna do is we need a piece of rope right here. So you just use whatever piece of rope, and what you do is is you wrap it around like that. Get it tight. Then you can just slide that whole knot. And you move your peep sight up. It's of course it's going to be completely backwards. Okay, let's see how close that is. Dang, it's still low. All right, we might be in good shape then. We can spin it until it's back in place. Now, if you're at this step and you move your peep sight around and now it's completely backwards, you're gonna have to press your bow again, and all you do is take it out and flip it and put it back in. So we're gonna push this knot up again. Okay, let's see where we're at. Money. Okay, but you can see that it's still a little crooked, so we're gonna fix that. First what I'm gonna do is take my rope again and really tighten down my peep. So even if you don't need to move your peep around, after you get it tied, it's not a bad idea. Wrapped around again. It's not a bad idea to scooch these guys closer to your peep. Just keeps your peep from moving around. Okay, so what you can do to do a little fine tune, get your peep sight lined up, is you actually move your D-loop. So the D-loop is pretty flexible until it's really seated down. So you see right now my D-loop's even pushed down this way. So you just grab the string and you just work the D-loop. You literally just spin it on the string until it's lined up with the peep sight right there. So push a little bit more. And what you can do is you can take your pliers, kind of seat it back down, or you just shoot it and you keep spinning it a little bit until you get it 100%, and that's gonna be real close. Dude, this release is money. Okay, that's close. I can see through it. Should I shoot it?
Mm-hmm.
Fire in the hole. Not bad. That wasn't bad at all. It is definitely, it's definitely a budget bow. It ain't no V3, but still, it'll shoot, it'll work. All right, so now what you have to do is you have to paper tune it. You don't have to do this step. Like, you can eyeball it and you'll kill a deer, you can shoot, you can have fun. But this next step will get you a little bit closer to being in better shape, I guess. So what you can do, you can actually build a paper tuner if you want. Like, we have these cardboard boxes from 3D Targets. You could cut out a window in here, put a little like printer paper, sheet of paper, put it on a stool or a chair and a target, and you can shoot through it that way. You can make your own. I really don't feel like going through all those steps, so we're just gonna use my paper tuner that's already set up. But if you don't have one, that's a super easy way to do it. Hopefully this isn't terrible. You never know. Okay, so you wanna be at about, I don't know, like 4 steps or so to start. All you do is you draw back and you shoot right through the paper. Into it. Dude, that's close. So this side is where the tip went in, and these are where the fletchings went in. So the arrow went in, kind of did one of those things. So what that tells us is we need to move the rest to the left and up. To the rest, to the left, rest to the left, and up. So we're gonna do those adjustments. We're not gonna go super in depth. I have other videos, and you can find other videos on like strictly how to paper tune. But that's what you gotta do in this situation. Oh, whew. You loosen this bad boy and it just comes loose. That's no, oh boy. Did I just strip it? No. Almost. So with these cheaper rests, it's just a lot of like, just working it. There's no micro clicks or anything. So we're just like loosening it, moving it around. Oh, dude, did you? See, I already missed my micro adjust and everything. But this stuff will work. Okay, let's try it again. Might be totally jacked up now that we just moved it all around, but we'll see. Money, dude. Look at that. Nah, not money. So we went too far. So now the tip is in low right, fletchings are high left. So we got to move it back to the right a little bit, and we still have to move the rest up a little bit. Should be in good shape. That's close. We're still a little off. I don't know. Let me take a step back. As you step back, it becomes more amplified. Travel on the release. All right, so we're right there. That just shows that it's a little knock high, which is not the end of the world. You really want to make sure your left and right's good. Knock high, you can still run it. So we could probably chase this around all day, and it is a whisker biscuit. So there's really not a whole lot of fine adjustment. But this is close. We're gonna run it. It's gonna shoot good. So there's the bow. It's all set up. Really didn't take too much work. You just bolt everything on, peep sight, D-loop. So let's go outside and see how well we can shoot this thing. All right, everyone. Just paced out 30 yards with this target. And inside in the shop, we can get like 8 yards, and I just roughly sighted into where I think this is gonna be. But we'll see. I want to shoot a little farther too and see what type of groups I get. But right now, 30 yards. Let's see how we do. Whew, that wasn't that bad. A little high. Actually, we can move the sight, but it's almost maxed out all the way up for me. Like I had to move this top pin all the way up in the shop, and this big adjustment is all the way up. So again, the budget stuff does not have a lot of adjustability to it. So I'm kind of maxed out with this. So I'm just gonna take a step back, do like 33 yards or something, and see if we can just hit right in the middle. Right next to it. All right, well, let's see how good of a group we can get at least. Not bad. You can definitely smoke a deer with this thing at 30 yards. No doubt. That'd be funny to do. Shoot like a doe with this thing. Ooh. That was a little low. Let's go check out that group, 30 yards. 30 yards, that's not that bad. I can almost fit my hand all the way around it. Let's go to 40 now, see how we can do. Okay, here we go. 40 yards. Wait, hit it. Right. So moving this sight left and right is kind of a pain. You need an Allen wrench, and you slide this whole thing. And I don't have the Allen wrench with me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna aim off and see if I can get some in the middle. Is that in the middle?
I don't know.
I think it is. The travel on this release too, it's like going, and then they release. Budget release. Whew. That one left. Whew, and that one right again. All right, let's go see how that was. That's not the greatest, but I was aiming off trying to hit the middle. So this is not very accurate with how I can do right now. Let's go all the way to 50, see how we can do. Oh. Okay. 55 yards. let me move one of these pins. And guess where it's gonna be. Probably something like that. Let's hope. Money. Why do I always not bring binoculars? Huh?
I don't know.
Can you see that one down there?
No, I can't see it.
I think that's not bad. I'm just gonna aim at that left target and see where they go. I think they're hitting pretty decent. Like close together wise. Go check it out. That's not a bad group. So I was aiming, this was my first arrow, and I was aiming just like right here in the center to make sure I hit the target. Then these next 3 arrows right here, I was aiming right here. So that's not a bad group at all. What I want to do now though, is I'll probably take these paper targets down and just aim at this one and see how good of a group we can get. Okay, so I want to aim at the top left dot, hoping that I hit the bottom right dot, because I was low right. You think that's close?
Pretty close.
That's gotta be close. All right, let's see how good of a group we can get. 55 yards. They're pretty good. Doesn't help, it's red and white fleshings on a red and white target. Dude, I think those are really close together. Ooh, the wing got that one big time. Oh, that travel and that release is phenomenal. That went really low. I think my first 3 were pretty good. That last one went low. But let's go check it out. Okay. Well, oh, good thing I didn't hit that screw right there. So these were my first 2 shots, right in the white dot. This was my next one. That one, I think the wind took that. I saw it do like something crazy, and it's really windy out today. And then this last one, I was holding really long. And it is freezing out here. I was holding really long and hit low. Yeah, this wind definitely took that arrow. But look at that. These 2 that were good shots went right in the white dot. I was aiming here at this dot, but they went in that dot. So the groups are the same. But anyways, let's do an outro inside. All right, everyone, back inside. That completes our budget bow build. And this is a sub $500 setup. Like could mow a couple lawns in the summertime, shovel a couple driveways, and make this bow happen. And I just shot outside at 50 yards and got a group about like that with the 2 arrows that I know were good shots and right in there. So it's a fine shooting bow. Now, obviously, there are a lot of limitations with a budget bow like this. It's not a top of the line feel, but it still gets a job done. This sight, it's 100% made out of plastic. It's definitely not something that I personally would shoot just because I need it to be reliable. Like this sight, if you banged it on a rock or something climbing up a mountain, it'd probably not be in the best shape ever. Same with the rest. I mean, it's just flimsy. The bow, it's actually not that bad of a bow. I mean, it's made by Mathews. They got a very high tolerance of everything, but the feel is just not top of the end. But for a budget bow setup, it's not that bad. You could definitely shoot a tournament. You could definitely shoot a deer, have fun in the backyard with this type of setup. And you can set this up, follow this video, and you could literally do it right at home. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, a little bit different, just kind of having fun and showing how easy it is to get into archery. The barrier of entry into archery is getting lower and lower every single year with the amount of information and the accessibility of the internet and knowledge and everything is just making it easier and easier. So if that's something you're thinking about, this is how to do it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out BeRealMerch.com, support the brand, especially if you like videos like this, and we'll catch you next time.